Hey, there we go. All right. How's it
Hey,
going, Ruth?
yeah, it's pretty good. Hi everyone.
All
So
right. Well, this is a big, important week. Obviously, a very important topic. So, welcome, one and all. Thanks for joining us. We are this week going to do a little bit of design around the theme of anti-bullying. Okay. And we're going to be doing two challenges, as we frequently do. And these are going to be a poster design followed by a little video. And with that video, we're going to have some fun, Ruth. We're going to get to record our voices and animate some characters.
yep.
So that'll be, and it's always hard to choose which character I want to animate, but I guess
Oh,
we'll.
I can. It's always between like the little like geeky sort of hand-drawn person or like a weird robot. I love it. It's great.
I do like the robot.
Yeah.
If you're going to claim the robot, I might just go for
Mm.
that cat that's always being used because I think he's really charismatic.
Yeah. The cat's pretty
Charismatic cat. There's some alliteration for all you
good.
friends out there who like English and who like the language. Okay, so Ruth, we have some important things to mention to everybody, as we always do. First and foremost is that you can pause the video at any point if you need to catch up, and we're not going to go anywhere. Even though we're carrying on with the instruction, it's fine. If you pause it, you can always just pick right back up where you left off. No worries.
Yep.
Um, and then what's the thing we can do if everybody completes their work and lets us know about, Ruth? What can we do then?
So what was the question? I was reading the comments, sorry.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. I'm throwing those up here too. When you said hello, I'm just gonna throw them up. I was saying, what can we send them? Can we send them anything if they let their teachers know that they've completed their work and the
Yeah,
teachers let
that's a
us
good
know?
question. That's a good question. So yeah, so if you guys just by I think Dom sends out an email afterwards and you can get some swag, so like stuff you just get for free, which is cool. And then if you guys show anyone else any of the stuff that we're teaching you today that you've learned today, if you pass that on to anyone else, then you get VIP swag, which is even like specialer. I was going to say that's awful. Even more
Sure.
special. Sure. I'm just noticing there's a couple of Northern Ireland schools. Hi, Talk Mona. I've been there. It's great. So
Cool.
yeah.
I've not been to any of these schools. I feel left out of the party. I'm gonna have to get myself on a plane and go over and visit with some classrooms and do some stuff in person at some point. That
Yeah.
would be delightful. All right. So, Ruth, we have a lot of work to do here. We have a lot of
We do.
present. I think we should jump into it and we'll see how we go. How's that sound?
That sounds great. There's Temple Patrick Primary. Hi.
Oh man, all these nice folks saying hello. I'm trying to throw them all up here as they go.
Show me
Um,
the swag. Excellent. Excellent.
it is not a Lamborghini. I keep telling people we do not give away Italian sports cars, but it's almost as good. So
St. Anthony's Primary School in Larne. That's where I am right now. I'm in Larne.
no
That's my
way.
hometown. Yep. Hi,
So they
St.
have a local
Anthony's.
celebrity there.
Yeah, for sure. That's
Excellent. All right, well, let's jump in here. We are on the homepage of Adobe Express. Everybody follow along at your own pace. And remember that you can, of course, as we said earlier, you can pause these, no worries, and we'll still be here so you can follow along as needed. All right, so we're going to be doing a little poster to start things off. And when you want to do a poster, well, look at this. Fortunately, when you over here on Express's homepage, there already is an option for a poster.
Yep.
And you can just click on that and say, you want to create from scratch. So here we go. We've got our first blank canvas ready to go. Now what I'm going to do is we're going to actually do a bit of an illustration, Ruth, and we're going to do it very, very easily with some simple shapes. And this is a cool design principle where you can use text with an image in a really clever way. And I want to get people starting to think about that kind of stuff. So I'll show you how we're going to do it. We're going to start with elements, and elements are over here on the left, just under text. And in the categories of elements we have, one of them is shapes right here. Now, if I tap on shapes, very first one I see is a plain old circle. Yep. That's what we're going to use. So I'll tap on that circle. And I'm not even going to resize it. It's already the size I want. Very simple, very easy. There's my circle. What I do want, though, is I want to change the color. So here we have our properties for that circle, one of which is the fill color. I'll tap on that. Now, normally, you're going to see recommended colors based on the color you've chosen. Now, since I have basically black as a color, all the other colors are extremely dark and difficult to see. So what I'm going to do instead is go over here to custom colors. And this gives you your handy dandy slider. So you can choose your hue, fancy word for color. Okay. I'm going to go for a nice blue here. And this lets me adjust the brightness of the color and the saturation of the color. So I'm going to land on something kind of around here. It's quite bright. It's not super light. It's kind of in the middle. And I'm going to say, great. Okay. Now I've got what I want. Here's where it gets really simple. We take this circle and we duplicate it. And after I do that, Ruth, I'll pass it over to you and you can do the same thing so everyone has a chance to kind of follow along. But I'll get to this one more step. I've got a blue circle and I'm going to duplicate it. And here's how you do that. Right here next to the symbol for the circle, there's a little icon that looks like two squares on top of each other with a plus sign, and I just hit duplicate. And look at that. I've got another circle and I'm ready to go. All right, so Ruth, let's go ahead and see if we can mimic or mirror what I've done. And if you want to do anything differently, please, by all means, go for it.
Sure. So that's the best thing. So Kyle and I throughout this are going to just bounce back forward. It just really gives you guys time to get caught up and see it again. So where I'm on the homepage, Kyle went up to poster here. If you didn't see that, you can go to plus and then go to create poster if you need to. My main page didn't load earlier, weirdly. It was just blank, so I had to do this. So I can go to create and go to poster. Pretty much does exactly the same thing. And then once we're in here, we have our lovely poster. Kyle went over to elements because we're bringing in those different shapes that we kind of want to see. So I'm going to go to elements. Shapes is up at the top here. So I'm going to click on shapes. There's our lovely filled in circle. Now, Kyle did mention it as well, but if you clicked on this one, for example, it would only give you the outline of the circle as the color, not necessarily both, or like, you know, fully filled in. We want that filled in circle. And then I'm going to click on it and change the color. This is really easy. This is great. This is a memory game for me, Kyle. You see, you're testing my memory. So I'm going to click on this circle. I'm going to go to the fill box over here. So if I click on that, it's going to give me these options. Again, I'm getting those same images, those same recommended colors. No, they're too dark. I love nice and bright. Now, I will pick a different color. The blue is very, very nice, but I'm much more of like a sort of purpley kind of person.
Oh, very nice.
I'm going to go for this nice purple. So it's not super bright. It's more like a wee bit, I don't know, muted. We'll say that. And I will go, and then, so I've selected that. I've got my one circle. I need to duplicate it to create a second one. So with it selected over here, I can see there's my circle. And then we've got these two little boxes with the plus. That's just the duplicate button. If I click on that, boom, I remember. And it's back over to Kyle to find out what else we're doing now.
A+ from Ruth right there. Perfect. All right. Well, we've got our second circle here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to first change the color, believe it or not, back to black. So when I go to fill, one of the options I have is black because it's always available. And I'm going to resize it a little bit. So I'm dragging from the handle here, and I'm just going to put it down here. And you'll notice that whenever I move something on the screen, you have all these pink lines, and they're helping you to align things. Now, I don't want them to be completely in the center, perfectly aligned like this. What I do want is for it to be slightly lower, about here maybe, okay? Now, let me zoom in so you can see this really clearly. That's about where my circle, that's about the size I want. If it's slightly different, that's fine. But that's pretty much what I'm interested in. And then I'm going to duplicate it some more. So Ruth, there's a lot of duplication going on here.
I was going to say, you're loving that duplicate button today.
Oh, there's so much duplication today. Duplicate it. There it is. And watch this. Size it way down. Look how much smaller that is. And I'm going to put it right here.
I see what you're doing now. I see it.
You do. And guess what? We'll duplicate it again. And see how it lets me line them up so perfectly and easily. Oh, it's so great. Put that about there. And what I'll do is while I've got that selected, I'll hold down the shift key and tap on this one. Now I've got both of them, so I can align them in the center. See that?
Yeah.
Together. Okay. Now I'll let it be right there. So what we have is sort of a face, don't we? So
Yeah.
Ruth, I'll kick it over to you to take care of those steps right there, and then we'll continue, okay?
Brilliant, no problem. So I'm gonna make this one be my mouth. Okay, so I'm going to select it. I'm gonna go up to fill, and I'm gonna go with white. I'm just gonna keep doing things just slightly different, just to show the different colors. Only for myself. There's no reason. What Kyle's doing is great. So I'm gonna go here. So I've got a big. Looks like just someone's got like just a wide open mouth. And then I'm actually going to zoom in first, so because it's a wee bit fiddly, this bit. So I'm just going to zoom in here and
Yeah,
select.
that helps.
Yeah, much easier, especially whenever you're trying to size down to something really small. So I'm zoomed in. I've selected the mouth. I'm going to go to duplicate. Going to bring it down. I always really like close eyes. I don't know why. So I'm going to see if I always
That's
find that
fine.
they're super cute, you know?
Yeah.
So I held in shift. Sorry, I'm not even explaining what I'm doing. I forgot. So I've got one selected and I hold in shift and then I selected them both and then I just aligned them because you gotta love alignment. Everything has to be just because if it looks off, it's just a bit strange, isn't it? So I'm gonna
It
go
still
for
looks like
this.
a face, but it's a more funny face.
It's a bit of an odd face, but sure, we'll call it that. But yeah, so that's how we've got our eyeballs and we're ready to go for the next bit then.
Beautifully done. Beautifully done. A+ once more. All right. So returning back to our shapes, if you look over here, I also have rectangles, and I'm going to tap on this option to view them all. So this guy right here is what I want. This is a rectangle with rounded edges. I'm going to place that on the canvas, and we'll change the color to black so it matches the mouth and the eyes. And I'm going to make it much smaller. All right.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I'll zoom in so I have a lot of control over this. And here we go. I'm going to, from the top, drag it down this way. Okay. And that makes it a little bit skinnier. See that? And watch this. Oh, rotate it a little bit. We're saying no to something. We're saying no to bullying. That's what this poster is about. So I'm going to have that eyebrow come off the top of the head because that's a really fun kind of cartoony way to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And what do you think I'm going to do next? Here we go again with duplicate. I'll duplicate it. So much duplication. Slide it over here, but oh no, it's at the wrong angle. What do I do, Ruth? Well, we've got this little friend right here. Mm-hmm. I can flip it horizontally. And just as before, I've got it selected. If I hold down the Shift key, I can now move these together and get them aligned very nicely to the center. I want to make sure these eyes are centered as well. And we want to make sure everything here is aligned. So there we go. All right. Now, it looks like my eyes are not quite aligned with my eyebrows. I'm not sure what happened there. Oh, there we go. It's because I didn't have them lined up with each other. Silly me. Oh, boy. You know, it's always something, right?
There's always something.
There we go. So I've got the mouth, I've got the eyes, and I've got the eyebrows that have a face. Mm-hmm. So shall I carry on with the next step, or shall I kick it back over to you, Ruth?
You go for it. I can remember the eyebrows. Don't you worry.
All righty then. Here we go. I'm tapping on the text tool, and I'm going to type with Add Your Text, all capital letters, the word N-O, no. And I want it to be really bold. So over here we have what are called font families. This Source Sans, whatever that font is. Yep. Underneath it we have regular, but if I tap on that, look at all these options. One of the options is black, and that's even bolder than bold. Okay. So if I go now and zoom in a little bit so you can see that text, I want to take that text, and here's something really cool you can do. You can adjust the space between the letters right here, letter spacing. I'm going to tighten that up a little bit. And the last thing I'll do before I kick it over to you is change the color and then put it right inside the mouth. And that's what's really cool about how we're going to make this poster. We're working with picture and the type and making them work together.
Nice.
So let's go to our custom colors. I want to use a nice red that's a little more sort of warm, an orange or kind of red, if you will. And now I can just put that here in the circle for the mouth, maybe make it a little larger. And voila. Now we have our, oh dear, something went wrong.
Oh no.
that means, but I'll go ahead and refresh and see what happens. Hopefully everybody's following along and they understand where we are. Well, look at that. No worries. Everything got saved. So there we go. All right, I'll kick it over to you and we can carry on, all right?
No problem. I have to make these eyebrows now. So with my elements and shapes still showing, I can see in the rectangles that I can just scroll across and find that sort of rounded one because we want that nice finish on our eyebrows. So I'm going to select this one, which brings it in. Now, obviously, that's an absolutely massive eyebrow. That is one big bushy eyebrow. But I'm going to just make it a wee bit smaller, resize. I'm going to make them a wee bit thinner. I quite like sort of those little small eyebrows. Now, see, I have an issue because I also like things hanging over the edge of the head. But if I choose white, you're not going to see that because the background is currently white. It may change. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to make my eyebrows a wee bit of a different color. And I'm thinking I'm going to go for like an orange color or maybe a pink, actually.
Oh, I like that.
Like a hot pink, you know, that sort of a color.
That's fun.
And then I'm just going to rotate it. It's pretty big, actually. It's still pretty big. Also, I just realized both of us have been saying zoom in. If anyone doesn't know, to zoom in, you can hit Control and plus, or some of your mice might zoom in. Mine doesn't, just because I'm using an Apple mouse. But you can also click this little drop down and zoom in by choosing that, and then just scroll about. I realized we were both like, oh, zoom in. And then I'm like, does everyone know how to zoom in? But yeah, so there's one eyebrow. Got it pretty good. I'm going to go for slightly one down, one up, like the lower.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah. And then I'm going to duplicate. And then you could rotate it by rotating it round, but that little flip button, flip horizontal, is the best button ever. So it's just down here. So I'm just going to click that, and I'm going to make one a wee bit higher because it's like a bit judgy. Like, no. So that's pretty weird, but I love it. And I'm going to select them both. I'm actually going to make them just slightly bigger, just because I think they're maybe a wee bit too small. So yeah, there's my little wonky eyebrows. I love it. And then the second thing we're going to do is add in that big no, the big massive no. So I'm going to go to text. I'm going to go add your text. I'm going to type in no, capitals. Your teachers are probably all like, don't do capitals. Capitals are great for posters. You need them nice and chunky. You could choose a nice font. This Source Sans is fine. It's just a bog standard one. I really like Montserrat. I don't know why. I just really like it.
That's a good one.
It's quite nice. And again, with the drop down, it has a massive font family, which also has this black one. So black is like the boldest of the bold. It's the really, really bold. So it's nice and chunky. And then I can also change our text spacing. I don't think I need to so much, but if you do need to, you can just select your text, go to this little sort of double-headed arrow with some lines beside it, and then I can change my letter spacing to even just have them touch a wee bit if I want to. So it makes it even makes it look quite chunky. I'll do that. And then for the color, I'm thinking about maybe doing like a burnt orange to kind of
yeah, because orange is like a warning color, you know?
It is, exactly. That wasn't the plan, but let's say it was. So just because purple, pink, and orange are quite a nice combination. And I'm going to go with this, and then I'm just going to make it a bit bigger so that it's easier to see, kind of maximizing that space. I'm going to use my arrow keys because I'm not quite satisfied with that alignment. And there, I'm pretty happy with that. Just a big no, big mouth.
Another thing I like about yours is the personality that you gave it just by making one eyebrow low and one eyebrow high. I think that works nicely.
Very playful, shouting at you, you know.
Indeed. All right, watch this trick. I'm just going to select all of these things together by dragging on top of them. And then here I can group them. So by grouping them, I can now move it all together super easy. I don't have to really do one at a time. And I'm going to pop it up here in the corner. And I'm going to be adding some text around it that says say, and then we have the word no, to bullying, exclamation point. All right. So let's go ahead. I'll take my text tool again, add text. And first I'll write the word say, S-A-Y. And I'll make sure that's all capital, S-A-Y, all caps. And again, that's because we're designing a poster, just to clarify. And let's go ahead and make that extra bold, but I'm going to see if maybe there's a, let's see, just bold, maybe. I don't have to necessarily do the full black, okay? And we'll take that and just pop it up over here. And I'm going to align it with the word no. Make it a little smaller. I want no to really be accented and to pop out there. And guess what? Here's our friend duplicate again. I duplicate it, just pull it over to this side. And we're going to say in here, to bullying. Now, it's important for this text to move from the left outwards as I type. So I'm going to come into our text alignment right here and use this left alignment. And now I can simply type freely and not worry about it. To bullying, exclamation point. I'm just going to drag this out wider so it all fits. Say no to bullying. And I'll make it a little smaller because I want everything to fit on the page. And you'll see what's about to happen here. We're going to actually take everything and we're going to angle it.
Oh,
so I'll
nice.
make this a little smaller as well. There we go. Say no. Uh-oh, something went wrong. I'm not sure what's going on. Express doesn't like me today. Fortunately, everything should be saved. That's what I like about that autosave feature that's always happening in the background.
Oh, so handy.
Dear.
Oh,
it
no.
really doesn't like me today. I think it doesn't like me working with text for some reason.
Oh,
all
yeah.
Right,
It was
say no to bullying.
Yeah.
Pardon me?
Yeah, I was going to say it was your no that did it before, wasn't it?
Yeah, but it's something to do with text. I wonder if it's that font. Maybe I should just change the font and see what happens.
Change the font. That's a good idea. Yep.
I'll kick it over to you to do the say no to bullying text while I figure it out on my end.
Sure, I can show the root as well. There's no problem. So I'm going to I'm actually just going to select my no because I want to keep that font. So I'm going to select my no text and I'm going to hit duplicate. And because I like that font, I'm also just going to change the color. I think black's probably the easiest, just because it's sort of, it's easy. It's the easiest color to read. So I'm going to go that. I don't want this black though. I might go medium. Yeah, let's go medium. And I'm going to change this to left align just to make sure that everything's okay for whenever I have to copy it later. So I'm going to hit say. I'm just going to make that a wee bit smaller. You might have to just click off your text to be able to move it.
Yeah.
Because I think it automatically, if you go to click on it, it just selects letters. So you have to click off first and then move it about. And then I'm just going to duplicate, move it across, make sure it's roughly the same distance to bullying. Oops. So, sorry, big cough. So we've got say no to bullying. I might do the same as what Kyle did. I might make the say no or say to bullying a wee bit smaller. Yeah, that's great. And then I'm just going to move this across. Might just keep that out a wee bit. I'm going to just overlap it. And then is it okay if I show the rotate? Is that okay?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, so then just with nothing kind of selected, I'm going to click on the outside and drag my mouse so that I'm selecting everything. So I'm selecting my face, my no, my say to bullying. So everything's selected, and I'm just going to do a slight rotate, just so it kind of offsets it a wee bit, and then I'm just going to move it over to kind of make sure that our head is kind of ready. And it just makes it, I just think it adds just something a wee bit more interesting, just slightly off. Just adds a wee bit, just more dynamic kind of.
Good word. Yeah, that's the word.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna stick with that. I'm pretty happy with that. Is yours working now, or is it still kind of refreshing all the time?
To refresh, it says there's a problem. It happens about every minute or so. So I'm not sure. There's some kind of a glitch, but I'll just carry on and see what happens. I'll try. So let's try.
Yeah, that's all we can do. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm in basically the same situation you are. And what I want to do is add another element. So I'm going to go to my elements.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you know what I mean?
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
So what you want to do is you want to create another circle with the same color as the face that you've just drawn and make it much, much larger. So I'm sure, Ruth, if you know what I'm talking about and have the reference for the poster.
Throw it over to me. You can even just tell me, you can guide me what to do if you want.
No worries.
So are we just, so if I just selected this circle, could I duplicate it, or do you want to create a new circle?
You got it. That's exactly the move.
See, if you're stuck today, just think, I'll duplicate something. So I've got this duplicated, and then you're saying this is going to make our big body then, right?
Yeah, it's going to be massive. It's really what I did was I kind of made it an oval, so I didn't have to make it, so large. You can pull from the sides to, there you go.
Good idea.
What it really is doing is it's giving you space to put your text. So if you slide it a little over to the right, you've got now this whole area that you can put the rest of the text. So you've kind of given yourself a nice headline for the poster, if you will, but you've also given yourself this imposing figure with the face and the body. And this is just a neat little design trick.
That's cool. It looks great. It's just a nice little way to also just add like just a giant, like it also makes the head look really teeny, which I love. It looks really good.
Yeah, and that's kind of fun, I think.
Sure.
All right, so I've done the same thing on my end.
Okay.
We'll see if Express behaves. I'll just kick it over to me and we'll see.
Sure,
but if not, then we can continue to go. So there are three things. Oh dear.
Oh my goodness! Didn't even get started.
I'm gonna blame my computer.
Sure.
And I think it's just a little tired. But what I'm trying to do now is just list 3 kinds of bullying. We want to say no to 3 kinds of bullying. Okay. Now, Ruth, they are verbal bullying, social bullying, and physical bullying. These are the 3 main categories. So we just want to say no to all 3 of those. And I'm simply going to list them here. No verbal bullying, no social bullying, and no physical bullying. That's it. Yeah. And once we have those listed, we're going to then add a little section at the bottom about how bullying makes you feel. And so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use the same kind of text I've got here. And if I were to select my text tool and just add text, I can go right back to the font I was using for say no to bullying. If I go here to the source, and it shows me in use. These are the fonts I've been using, one of which is Noto, N-O-T-O. I really like that font. See if I can select it. Maybe not. Oh, well, it still has my text there. That's good. Here we go. Noto. And I'm simply going to list all 3. And I'm going to do it one at a time so that I can then, guess what? Duplicate. Big surprise, right? Yeah. Verbal. Oh, I can't even type it. Well, I'll just have to guide you then to do it. How's that sound?
Sure, that's no problem. You guide me. I was just going to
sorry for the technical difficulties.
Yeah, for any of the kids who are wondering where to get this information, it's just on that little challenge sheet that we're writing in. So all of the text that we're using is going to be here.
Yes, you can copy and paste it. Super, super easy. I would do the copy and paste each of the titles and then the text that comes after those separately.
Okay. So what I'm going to do then is what you were trying to do was add your text. I wonder, are you better coming out of Adobe Express entirely rather than?
I am. I'm going to sign in with my own ID and see if that makes a difference.
I got this. No probs. So I'm going to just use. I know that is crazy. I'll find the font that you like. It was Noto, wasn't it?
N-O-T-O. Yeah, it's a good one because it's got a whole bunch of different weights to it. Light, italic, bold, black, condensed, all kinds of fancy business.
Okay, I find Noto, but for some reason it's only the italic, bold. There it is. So yeah, I'm just gonna pick this one. Gonna do probably just like a semi-bold, and I'm gonna type in best teachers. I'm gonna type in capitals because it's a poster. We're gonna go verbal bullying. And I probably just need to make that a wee bit smaller. And also, actually, my spacing is quite tight, which makes it a bit harder to see. So I'm going to zoom in a wee bit here. And oh, that's way too zoomed in. I'm
Oh, can
literally.
you switch your screen back over? I'm sorry, Ruth.
Oh,
I
I'm
think
so sorry. I
there
didn't
you
even
go.
realize.
There you go.
Good job, me. We're doing really good today. Kyle and Ruth, dream team with everything going wrong. Sorry. So
No worries.
I added my text. I changed it to capitals, verbal bullying, and I changed the font and changed the weight of it to what was it, semi bold. And I'll zoom out again. So this is kind of where we're at with our title. Are you okay? Do you want me to just? I'll just move this up here.
Carry on for another couple minutes. I'm going to sign in with a different ID, and I think that might handle it, but we'll see.
Sure. Well, then what we'll do in the meantime, everybody else, is we will get the 3 different types of bullying in,
Yes.
3 titles, and then we can have a look at the sort of descriptions afterwards. So they're probably going to get all the content in first, or do you want me to do the first description? What do you think?
Yeah, sure. Let's go and do the description, and then once we have those, we can group them and then duplicate that.
Oh, that makes way more sense.
That text.
Way more sense. Okay, so I'm going to do verbal bullying. Just going to kind of place it here. Again, we're probably going to have to move some things around. And then I'm going to just duplicate this. I'm going to move it down because this is like our description. So our title is verbal bullying. If I flick back and remember to switch my tab, I can see that verbal bullying, here's the description of what it is. So it's when someone uses words to hurt, harass, or scare another person. So I might just copy that, even though on our little thing, it's just, there's little bullets. It's kind of, you can pick and choose whatever way you want to describe it. You don't have to do exactly what I'm doing. You could put in your own version of what you think verbal bullying includes, because there's so many different ways to do it. I'm just going to choose the alignment and go left align. There's actually quite a lot of words here, so I'm going to go, instead of semi-bold, it doesn't make
Ruth,
sense.
can you switch back? Can you switch back over to
I did it again.
That's okay. That's okay. Everyone knows what we're doing. It's fine.
Yeah, I mean, you can understand by my descriptions, right? So I've got my title. I copied it in. Actually, that's really all I did. I just pasted it in and I aligned it to the left. And all I'm going to do is actually just, instead of using, I'm just going to make this a bit smaller. And you'll notice that I have it on 3 lines. I don't really like that. I want it to be on 2. So I just need to drag this out. So that looks pretty good. Again, all I was saying was whenever it comes to titles and subtitles, you don't want those to be the same sort of thickness or weight, because then the title doesn't stand out as much. So I'm going to choose my subtitle and I'm going to change semi-bold to something like medium, or regular probably would make more sense, like this. So it just makes it look a wee bit different, and we can kind of play around with that. I know Kyle has some really cool little, like, it wasn't an arrow or something that you'd added in. That
I used an arrow. That was actually an asset I found with the design element. I just typed in the word arrow and it came right up, and it's a really easy one to work with. I love it.
Let's go with that. So if we go to elements on the left and we go to design assets, we can just search the word arrow. And there's a bunch of different arrows that you can kind of pick from as to whatever sort of one you want. I'm going to choose, I think this might actually be the one you choose.
That's the perfect one. I love that one. It's got a little bit of a hand-drawn kind of feel to it.
Yeah, it kind of matches the not quite symmetrical eyebrows of mine, so I'm pretty chuffed with that. And then I'm going to, now the one thing you'll notice is with this is because it's a design asset, you can't actually recolor it, because it is just a black element. Like there's no like change the color, but you can get really clever and you can add an effect onto it. So with it selected, I can go to effects and I can go to duotone, and this is the best way to recolor colored elements or design assets. So if I go to custom, whoops, and then I'm going to go with my little dropper tool. No, hold on. I need to move up so I can see my eyebrows because I want that pink. Oh, in fact, actually, there's the pink there. That's great. I don't even need to do it. So I'm going to choose that little pink. I can move it into here. And that just means I can move this text over and make it a wee bit smaller. So you can kind of just play around with it and sort of see the different styles that you want to do. My text is still probably a bit big, but That's kind of the idea, is that you have your title, we have a little arrow, and then some text that kind of explains what that is. Are you still struggling?
Well, I'm almost there. So if you want to take that and duplicate it and do the other ones, I should be caught up in a minute, and then we can carry on.
So I'm going to select and hold in the Shift key. So I'm going to select my title, hold in Shift, select the arrow, and select the subtitle. So all three are selected. And then whenever I go to duplicate, it'll duplicate all three, which is great. Saves me so much time. I'm going to move this down a bit because we've quite a bit of room on our page. I might actually zoom out just to help us see what's going on here. I'll zoom in a wee bit more. And then what I might do, because they're already selected, I might just hit duplicate again. So we have our third. And we can kind of see, now obviously there's still loads of room, so we may be putting something special in at the bottom. So we just want to make sure that that's nice. And then I can just go back and double check. So the second type of bullying that we're going to look at is social bullying. That should have been left aligned. So you'll notice that this has been center aligned, which means that whenever I type a new thing in, it's not aligned anymore to the rest of them. But that's okay. I'm just jumping between these tabs. I'm not switching because I'll probably forget to switch back. But I'm just going to copy. I'm just going to copy and paste. So social bullying is when a person tries to hurt another person's relationships or reputation. And then we have our third type, which is physical bullying, which is quite a hard word to spell. I always used to struggle with physical or anything like that, just because I always was like, is it PHY or is it PSY? And then I'm going to paste that in as well. And then you can already see that with very quickly, just with the function of duplicate, copy and paste, or typing in, that you can start to build up a really nice little poster with these main titles and sort of things like that. So let me just zoom out and we'll see what our whole page is looking like. I mean, it looks pretty good. But are you wanting to add in that rounded rectangle for the content, or?
No, I don't think that's necessary. I think that's sort of it's a design option you could use. The most important thing is, I think now that we have this definition of what these kinds of bullying is, this is important. This is the informational part of the poster. Now at the bottom, what we can do is add some photography, and we can put our own feelings about this in there. And what I did was I just went to our media and I searched for kid megaphone. Just kid megaphone. And I came immediately, look at that first top right result. It's so perfect.
That's so cute.
And I wanted to have him shouting out, bullying makes me feel. And, you know, then we can have a little space using our handy dandy rounded rectangle for someone to write in how they feel about it.
Oh, okay.
And if you want to separate that area out, you can simply have the kid with the megaphone. But I used a torn edge of a piece of paper as a graphic at the bottom and a nice diagonal. Since we're using these diagonals, I think any kind of diagonal movement in a poster really adds, like you used the word earlier, I thought was great, dynamic quality. And this is something that I love for people to experiment with, which is rotate the text and see what happens. Try using diagonals, try putting things a little off center and just see how you go.
So I'm going to remove the background on this little kid. So with it selected, I can go to this remove background image and it works its magic, which means I don't need to do it. And I actually want the wee kid to be facing the other way. So I'm going to use that. You guys are probably already guessing what I'm going to use. It's not duplicate. I'm not using duplicate. It's going to be this flip horizontal so that the wee kid faces the other way. And I'm just going to pop him down at the bottom here. And then with the ripped paper, was that a design asset or was that a sheet?
Yeah, so I just went into the elements and I searched for torn paper, TORN, and I wound up with some really interesting results that I could use. There it is. The one on the top right was the one I used.
This one?
And I used a duotone for it to make it black, but you could make it any color you want.
Okay. So yeah, again, that sort of technique of how to color it in. So we go to effects.
And I put it behind the kid, and I just covered that entire bottom third of the, or quarter of the poster with it. So he overlapped everything, and his head kind of popped up over the top. It just gave it a nice little sort of separate section. It was fun. I actually like that color, by the way. Did you just assign that? That works really well.
It just, I was thinking I wanted orange, and I just clicked on what it must just come up with this randomly, and it just works really nice.
It works really well.
And then I'm just going to rotate this a wee bit so that it makes it, as we were saying, just a wee bit more dynamic. And then you're going to notice that I might have rotated it a wee bit too much, actually. You might, nice. So the problem is it looks like this little kid is drowning in a sea of lava currently. So
we don't want that.
We don't want that. So what we need to do is we need to play with the layer order, okay? So over on the right here, whatever is on top is going to be the thing that is on top of everything else. So I'm just going to click on this little kid and drag it up so that it's on top. And there we go. We rescued him from the lava. And he's just sort of sitting there yelling. Maybe he's yelling for help. I don't know. So I'm going to go to text, add some text in, and go bullying makes me feel. And I'm just going to arrange it the way that I want to. Actually, I might play with this fancier tool. So for the text layout, you can see here that there's a nice dynamic one, which will make bullying nice and big. And then the title is automatically makes me feel, which I think looks really cool. The only thing is, this is where I get very particular. And I know Kyle's very particular about this too. I'm going to change the line spacing a wee bit just so that makes it a bit closer. Yeah, see, I knew that. Oh, yes. And I forgot about our little colon. And again, I'm just going to rotate this a wee bit, resize it, and bring this down. I might actually change the font to that other title font that I used, that Montserrat. There we go. Just so it looks a wee bit better. Again, hopefully you'll notice I keep changing my mind every single time. That's the best thing about design. I'm like, would this work? And then I kind of just try it. These are just nice wee suggestions for you to try. Now that's way too big now, but there, that looks pretty good. And then, yeah, I think you said about adding in a shape, just like a wee rounded rectangle, just so it matches our eyebrows, just for you to write in how bullying makes you feel. So it's more of a, not an interactive poster, but you at least get to put in your opinion on it. We'll just do that down there.
Yeah, because we've probably all encountered some form of bullying like this in our lives at least once. And there are lots of emotions that you could write down, lots of ways you could describe how it made you feel. Made you feel angry, made you feel small, made you feel sad, words like that, whatever words come to mind. Yep. And it's good to express that and to write that down and to just acknowledge that. So let's see, I think your poster looks pretty good. Now we have a lot of different things going on here. We have a list with information, so it's an informational poster. We have a really good title area that is immediately telling us what the poster is about, but it's doing it in a clever way where you're using the word no. Not only do we see it very clearly, but also it's in the mouth. And so this is sort of reinforcing this idea that we're saying no to it. And I really like the element at the bottom. Everything you've done, I think this is what makes a good poster. It communicates clearly. The design is interesting, and it's got some variation, some varied shapes and some colors in it. Everything is easy to read and understand, and it makes the point very clearly. So, and that what you've just done there is an excellent, excellent design tip for everybody, which is to allow breathing room between the edges or the surrounding areas of where your text is, etc. These are all really great things to do. So there you go. I think, and that's us for the first little project. I had a terrible time trying to get things refreshed. I actually wound up with the same problem again, even logging in with another ID.
Oh my goodness.
It has calmed down now. I've had it going for about 5 minutes now, uninterrupted, and everything seems okay. So we could try to move on to the next little bit, which is to make a video.
Yeah.
And if you want to talk about, if you look at the example we have in the webpage, we
Yeah.
do have different icons to just reinforce this idea of verbal bullying being a voice bubble, social bullying being maybe a person, an icon for a person, and then for physical bullying, just some kind of a starburst, just to add another graphic element. These aren't necessary, but they're fun.
Yeah, it's something that you could maybe do afterwards. I think for now, just for time, we probably need to move on to the second activity.
Sure.
Just because we've had so many issues with whatever. Hopefully, Adobe Express is going to work with your video. Maybe it's just the poster thing.
We'll have to see, but I have to tell you, Ruth, you've done a fantastic job carrying it today. And I know that everybody out there has been able to follow along, I'm sure, without any difficulty. So, and this has turned out exactly the way we intended. So it's everything's perfect. We're on schedule. We've still got about 30 minutes, plenty of time to make a video and explain that process with the animate from audio.
Nice.
All right, so I'll try and take it over from here. Let's just see what happens. Okay, it's anyone's guess.
Before we do that, Kyle, actually, there's one last thing we forgot to show. Once you've finished with your poster,
yes.
you're happy with it, you should rename it up here, because you should technically do that at the beginning, but we are terrible at remembering to do that. So if I'm just going to stuff here, I can change the title, or I can just call it Anti-Bullying Week Poster. So you can see it's changed. And then what I can do is I can go to download, and you can choose PNG or PDF is best for kind of printing out, or JPEG, whatever you kind of want. And then you can just hit download, or you could hit share, and then you can do publish to web, which will create it. It's easy. It creates an easy link that you can then share with other people, just if you need to, rather than downloading it. So that was the last thing, was just to say about how to save your project once you're finished. But yeah, you can see mine's still a work in progress. I'm still fiddling about with this, but I definitely think the icons could add something interesting in. But we've got the bare bones of a really nice little project poster design.
Yeah, and nobody should feel like they have to, I don't think anyone should ever feel like they have to complete these projects in this very short amount of time that we're presenting it. That's not necessary. We just want to show you how to do it, and then take your time with it when you can.
Exactly. Cool.
All right. So
everyone, fingers crossed for Kyle's computer. Let's see.
We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. All right, here we go. I'm back on the homepage for Express. And I'm hoping for the best. We are now going to create a video. Okay. And so for that video, we're going to do two things. We're going to have video clips that we use. And these are easy to search for in our media. But we're also going to be using animate from audio. And if you look again at the webpage that we provided, there is some information there about bullying. But I think we can open it up to everybody. If there's something specific you want to say in your video, you can make your character say anything at all. So this could be completely up to you, whatever you want it to be. We're going to probably go and stick mostly to the script. But again, that's not like a requirement or anything like that. So if you feel like you want to get creative, then please go ahead. Here, I'll go ahead and open that up for everybody just so they can see it again.
Oh, yeah.
And we'll take a look at the second challenge. If I scroll down here, you'll see challenge 1. There's our poster. Challenge 2. Here are 3 things you can do if you encounter some bullying. Okay, and this is what we want to do as a message. We want to communicate this as a message in our videos. And this is not difficult to do. We'll show you how to use animate from audio. You can use your own voice and you can record it. Now in the classroom, of course, this is a good time to pause. When we get to that stage, you can pause, you can record your audio and then pick back up, so there's not a whole bunch of background noise going on when you're trying to record your voices. All right, so if you witness bullying, take action if it is safe. Support the person being bullied by walking away from them. I'm going to be reading these using a character from Animate from Audio. So I'll copy this text, and I'm just going to paste it for myself on a document on my other display so I can read it out loud, and I don't have to memorize it. All right, and then we'll come back here to Express. And we have under the plus sign here, I'm just going to type animate Oh, I'm sorry. Maybe it's under quick actions. Animate from audio. There we go. Quick actions.
Yep.
Animate from audio. Now this is going to pop open a separate window, and you're going to have a whole bunch of characters you can choose from to speak your voice. You'll see there are about 60 or so to choose from. It's quite a few. Now, this is the guy I used last time, this funny little fish character. He's loading in right now.
You really like
remember that when we did our deserted island.
It's right back to school, wasn't it?
It was back to school, yeah. All right, so here they come. There's a whole bunch of characters here. I don't know. I think this wrestler is really funny, so I'm probably going to just use him. There he is.
Also, it's quite cool. It's like he's fighting, bullying. So
yeah, he looks like the kind of person who would stick up for somebody and tell them not to do that.
Good guardian. Yep.
All right, now for the background, I do not want to use this background. So what I can do is if I go to background here, you actually have the option to do transparent. And that's what I want because I'm going to be using this, but I'm going to have a different video background that we use for it. So I do not want a background. I can move this character too. So I think I'll have him over here to the left. There we go. And when I'm ready to do my recording, I hit record. And if you want to, you can use this enhanced speech option. And that's going to clean up your audio a little bit, get rid of background noise and things like that. I'm not going to do that today, just in the interest of time, because it does make the recording go a little more slowly. But it's a pretty cool feature and it works really, really well. Okay. So here we go. Ruth, I'll go first.
Sure.
Hey there. If you witness bullying, take action if it's safe. Support the person being bullied by walking away with them. Tell the person being bullied you will go with them to a trusted adult. Let them know you'll back them up. So I've just recorded the first two. I imagine that's maybe what this wrestler sounds like. And what it's going to do, it's going to take that audio and it's going to process it. And then it's going to make the mouth move in time with what I've said. And then when I save that video, I can immediately start editing it in our timeline in Adobe Express. So while that's saving, Ruth, I'll kick it over to you. Sure. And I hope you're okay with your voice if you want to give it a try.
I'll be fine. I'll probably just have to read it. I don't know if I could be very... I'll probably end up coughing, but it's okay. If you need to cough, you need to cough. So I'm going to go for up at the plus. So again, I came out of my other project by hitting the Adobe logo in the top left. And then I'm going to hit plus. It's in quick actions. And we're going to go to animate from audio. This is where I just can't choose which character. So I may have to do just a random one because I love them all, like genuinely. Like, why not have a shoe tell you about bullying? Do you know what I mean? I kind of feel like doing the shoe, but I suppose this is a more serious subject. So I will choose a character that I think I'll probably just go for a little person. There are some really cool ones. I really love these little guys because they've got like there's wings, like so their arms will like move sort of like that, which is really cool. There's this guy as well who's fabulous. Looks like he's on Sesame Street. But I think what I might do is I might just go for someone like this. A wee bit easier. Actually, Lucy's pretty cool. Lucy pretty much wears what I wear. Hoodies, t-shirts, and jeans. So I will choose Lucy. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to make her a wee bit smaller so you can see more of the video. And I might just pop her here for now. And then hopefully in the editing, we can chop up the video and maybe flip her if I need to. Again, I'm the same. Enhanced speech is great if you're in a really loud classroom. If you're in a quiet room, like Kyle and I are, probably don't need enhanced speech. I do have these little bullet points open on the screen over here. So I'm just going to hit record and it's going to do a 3 count and then I'll start recording. Again, if you make a mistake at any point, that can all be edited out. So the best thing to do is just keep it recording and just you can edit around the mistakes. I make mistakes all the time, constantly.
Me too.
I'm going to hit record. Here's how to help someone who's being bullied. If you witness bullying, take action if it is safe. Support the person being bullied by walking away with them. Tell the person being bullied you will go with them to a trusted adult. Let them know you will back them up. A person who is being bullied may need someone to talk to. You can listen to the person and offer support. Boom. So
That was perfect.
it was pretty good. And I got my cough out just before I had to record. So it's just going to do the little lip sync. I'm not
All
sure.
right.
It looks like yours is still going.
No, I'll pop it back over to mine so everybody can see what to do next. So once you've done that, you can open it in the editor. This is what I want to do here. So when I open an editor, it's going to take me to the timeline in Adobe Express. And now I have this nice video, and I can add video to it. Now, because this is a video clip with a white background, as with any other video, I can actually select it. And you'll remember our friend remove background. As soon as this is done loading, I can remove the background for that clip, and then that will allow me to place another video clip behind it. So while it's waiting for that, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to look through my media. And the first thing I talked about was walking away. So I'm just going to search under videos.
You may not need to wait. Maybe it's grayed out because we chose transparent, so there is no background to get rid of.
I hope you're right. I'll have to see.
Yeah, we'll find out. We'll find out. Yeah. Walk away. Cool.
Let's see. Walk. I'll try this. Person living with friend. You can try options like that. I don't know. Leaves. It's showing me fall leaves. I love that.
Oh, you're leaving. Very good.
Yeah, not quite what I meant.
That's funny.
People walk away. Let's see what this one looks like. Walking away.
I think your internet, you're going to be a bit robotic on us here. Unless
oh, sorry about that. Sorry
no, it's
about
not.
that.
Nothing you can do.
Friends walking. I'm just trying different options here.
Yeah.
And here we have a lot of options. They're taking a long time to load.
Mm-hmm.
But I may also just wish to use a static photograph and see if that will work.
That's a good tip as well. If like some schools' internet might not be the strongest, so video can be quite it takes a lot from the internet. So if you are struggling, like Kyle is, to get things to load, using photographs is a easier bet, I think, isn't it?
Always, yeah, because it's a much smaller file.
Yep.
So you don't have to be worried about that. So I'm going to go again to media, and let's see. Doesn't want to show me anything. Maybe if I go to search, here we go. All right, we'll try two people walk away and see if I can find some photographs for that. And Ruth, maybe your internet connection is better than mine. Have you finished with your video processing?
I hit open in editor, so we can throw it over to me if you want. If we just want to.
Yeah, let's just keep it moving forward so people know what to do next.
Sure. So I'm just going to double check my little.
Here's how to help someone who's being bullied.
So I'm actually just going to, that wee first bit is like its own little section. So I'm going to search for the word help in videos just to see what kind of comes up, because it's like a little title. So we've kind of, there's one. I don't know if it's going to be long enough. I think that was the one that is in Dom's video in the example, actually. So if I click help, this little video, this is the moment where we find out, is there a no background or not? So I've put I've selected it, and then you'll notice there are two layers, just like, to remember the little guy with the megaphone. So we just need to drag this one on top. There's no background.
It works.
That's great.
Here's how to help someone who's being bullied.
Okay, so how do we get this one? So I'm just going to click on show layer timing. That's the main trick whenever you're doing video here. So if I click on that, it actually means that this little video up top, I can drag how long it lasts, because it's probably going to be too long.
Here's how to help someone who's being bullied. If you witness bullying,
probably need to move
Like
this.
that.
Yeah, I mean, you can tell that to P. I think that's okay.
Yep.
I was like, that person's kind of in the way, but it's all right. So
You can also slide her between the L and the P.
I could. So I'm going to select her and just move it across. Because there's no background, I can kind of move her wherever I want. So yeah, I'll just put her right in the middle. That's a good idea. So let's just double check.
here's how to help someone who's being bullied. If you would,
Yeah, it works pretty well, actually. So this is great as well because I can click on, if I click on the video itself, this is the length of the video. So if I click on this person, then this is how you basically edit each individual component or element of the video. Are you still struggling there, Kyle? I feel so bad.
It's okay. It comes and goes.
here's how to
Okay. So we're trying to find a video for, what was it, walking away?
Yeah, so I'm walking away, talking to an adult, and listening. These are the three main things to do.
Yeah. So I've just typed walking in just to see maybe if it's a bit more like, I suppose you could just put in someone's boots, you know, like walking.
Yeah.
You know, because that's the well, I suppose it's meant to be two people, isn't it? It's meant to walk with someone.
Yeah, but I think, it's just the symbol of walking is fine. So if you had, I like the idea of zooming in on just feet. That's actually quite powerful, and I think that really communicates clearly.
Yeah, okay. We'll go with that then. So I'll go with these sort of more like autumn ones. I think I'm kind of feeling quite autumny at the minute, you know. And then all I need to do is I just need to drag this little video clip so that it doesn't start at the beginning. So
here's how to help someone who's being bullied. If you witness bullying, take action if it is safe. Support the person being bullied by walking away with them.
Yeah, that looks pretty good, actually. I'll just move that. And then what I might do is just do this one. And then, so I've got my first little one, which is the title of how to help. Then we've got the little bits on how to walk away. You can see here, actually, this is the full length of the clip. And I've just dragged those little ends, the little to begin where I want it to, and then to end. So you do need to keep playing and listening to your audio. That's kind of the main thing, is our audio is the sort of main element that we're editing around, isn't it? Like,
yeah, you wait for that next sentence, and then you simply add another layer and then have that layer enter into the picture at that moment. It's a really easy way to edit video.
Yeah. Which does make it a wee bit easier. I was wondering, is it better to do these as scenes actually rather than what I'm doing, because it's a wee bit fiddly.
Well, I'm just adding layers. If you want to kick it over to me, I'll show you what I'm talking about here. I'll go ahead and do that. So here's a layer I've just brought in for someone talking to an adult. And the layer I have underneath that, if I just take this layer and I'll pop it over here for a minute, is the layer I have of the people walking away. And then I've got my video layer on top of everything else. So for the layer of the people talking, I want that to show up later in the video. So because I have this show layer timing on right here, it allows me to go ahead and edit this, and I can just listen to my audio and see where I need to put that. So then I know this is now the point where I would start the next bit. And I can make that fill the screen like so. And then if I scrub back to the beginning of the video, we can see how the timing works. So I'll hit play.
I can't hear your audio. I just realized. Sorry.
Okay. I'm sorry about that. But yes, the timing now works with took the two. So I have a pause between the first sentence I speak, where I am talking about walking away, and the second sentence I'm speaking is about talking to a trusted adult. And where that pause occurs, that's where I then bring in this second photo of a child talking to an adult. And that's what makes it work. And if I go ahead and share this tab, you should be able to hear it. So I'll just stop sharing for a moment, and then I'll go ahead and share again. And hopefully then you'll be able to hear that. So
Sure.
Let's try that.
Oh yeah, it's like share tab. I think shares your audio. Yeah.
Yeah, that usually makes it work with the audio. So here we go again. Hey there. If you witness bullying, take action if it's safe. Support the person being bullied by walking away with them. Tell the person being bullied you will go with them to a trusted adult. So you can see what's happening is I simply have layers that I'm adding to the project using all one audio clip. This is a very easy way to have them enter the picture. Now, what we haven't done yet is use transitions, but because we have these video clips or photos, you can very easily have them slide in, have them appear by growing larger, things like this. So this clip, for example, where I have a person talking to an adult, I can have that slide in by coming down here to animation and add a very simple animation for in right here. And you'll see lots of different options. I can have it fade in, that's a little more subtle, but I like the sliding option, so I'll just tap on that and I can decide how long it takes for it to enter the scene here. So about a second or so. Then I can preview that, and from here I can just check to see how it goes. Away with them. Tell the person being. So we just added a very simple animation. This is so easy to do, and you can choose which direction it slides in from, right, left, up, down, etc. And you can even do this with video clips. It doesn't just have to be a still photograph. So Ruth, how are you doing over there?
Yeah,
go ahead.
Sorry, I just muted so that you couldn't hear me playing with the audio.
Yeah, no worries. I'm sharing your screen now so we can see how you're progressing.
Sure. So yeah, so what I realized was because I had like 4 different scenes, so I had like the how to help, how to do the other things, it got a wee bit muddy with video, using the different layers. So I've actually just been duplicating the project and turning them into little miniature scenes. So it's good timing actually, because I'm just about to do the last one here. So I'm going to duplicate this and then just drag out so that I can hear, because
how to help.
So
back them up.
Back them up.
Tell the person being bullied you will go with them up.
Just trying to find that wee end bit just before it begins.
A person who's being bullied may need someone to talk to.
So that's it. So I'm just trying to find. It also means because I've got different scenes, then I'm able to click on my little person, and I would just use that little flip tool so that basically each time she kind of just changes where she is on the screen. Just making it again just a wee bit more interesting. And then I'm just about to look for an image or a video for the second one, which is about, I think I'm just going to put in talking, because it's just about talking with someone.
There you go.
Yeah, that's pretty good. And do that. But yeah, so, and because it's all scenes, they automatically are the right size as well. I just need to pop it below. So hopefully it just makes it look a wee bit easier. I mean, the only thing obviously is it should really be kids talking.
Well, yeah.
But again, you're right. It's just more a visual, like something to relate to. You don't have, like, you could spend forever trying to find the perfect clip.
Yes.
You guys, like all the kids watching, you guys could find it. But for now, you kind of get the idea. We're teaching you the technique, not necessarily which clip to use.
And I'll show you something else you can do, because you have this ability to add so much. If you look here, I've just added a title to the video, and that can just stay up there as a title. You're letting people know, what is this video about? So I have the narrator, we have a title. So if someone were to look at just a frame of this and not get to see the whole video, just from a glance, they would know what is the information that you are communicating here. And of course, now we understand, oh, this has to do with helping somebody who's being bullied. And it's really nice to be able to communicate that quickly and easily with a title card. Now I can then, as a result of that location of the type, I can move this down, make sure that everything is easy to see, like so. You can take our little guy here, make him a bit smaller, and then we can test it all out. So we've got our title now. Hey there, if you witness bullying, take action if it's safe. Support the person being bullied by walking away with them. Tell the person being bullied you will go with them to a trusted adult. Let them know you'll back them up. And then you could add one more scene if you wanted to here, where you have maybe some information, like for more information, you could follow a link, for example, to a website that you could create in Express where you talk about how to help somebody, or you could give them a QR code to print the poster that you've just designed. And this is a great way to tie these projects together so that you have an information campaign in different kinds of media. You have video, you have print, you have web, you have all those things, excuse me, tied together. All right, so kicking it back over to you, Ruth.
Yeah, no problem. So again, just making sure I'm always reordering our layers, but I think the wee video is kind of coming along.
Here's how to help someone who's being bullied.
I mean,
if you witness bullying, take action.
Whoops. So I have a little mistake there where I've put in if you
someone who's being bullied.
So I just need to zoom in a little bit. That's just to do with cropping it there.
If you witness bullying, take action if it is.
That was a bit odd.
Bullying, take action if it is safe. Support the person being bullied by walking away with them. Tell the person being bullied you will go with them to a trusted adult. Let them know you will back them up. A person who's being bullied may need someone to talk to. You can listen to the person and offer support.
I mean,
those
kids are giggling, but you get, like, again, it's that sort of idea. There's a couple of wee, like little edits.
Oh, that's fine. That's easy to edit, right? And then also we can even, now that we've done that poster, we can label these kinds of bullying. We can say if it's social bullying,
nice.
If it's physical bullying. And this is a great thing, verbal bullying. It's really great to be able to tie all that stuff together. Now, we've only got a couple minutes left. I'll go ahead and show what to do. When you've finished your video, you want to be able to share it with the world, of course. So what do you do? Well, you could share it, and that's the most obvious thing right here. But if you wanted to just save it, you could download it. If you download it, it's going to be in an MP4 file format, which is perfect video file format. It's compressed, but the quality is very good. You could keep this original size at 1080p, but if you're going to make it for a very, very small project and you want to save some size, you could go to 720, okay? Now, look at this option here for share. Publish to web. This is a really good one because you could share this link with anybody in the world and they could immediately see your video. So when I tap on that, we have a title, anti-bullying video, and there's my author name, and I can just hit publish link. And then what it's going to do is it's going to create a unique link that I can share with anybody, and that will live on a little website in Express for anybody. That's how you share your video. So when that's done publishing, I'll see a link and I'll be able to copy it and paste it wherever I like. There you go.
That's it.
All right. Well,
we got there. We got there in the end. There was a few things.
I have to thank you, Ruth, because you really carried the day. Thank you so much. And I apologize to everybody out there for my strange technical difficulties, but this is the world we live in with computers. Sometimes things connect, sometimes they don't. And we still managed to get through it. I hope everybody learned a lot. Ruth, thank you so much. I think you were awesome.
No problem. Just one thing, Dom had asked us to mention that I think it's next week. There's the climate. We're running some special digital leaders, climate change ones. Very, very good topic for anybody who's in. And there's still time to sign up. So if that's something you're interested in, just check the link that how you signed up for this one. And you can sign up for the climate change one. I think we've got a really cool session planned. So, yeah.
Yes. Please join us for that. Very important topic, and we'll have some very creative design work to do around it. Thanks, everybody. Take care of yourselves. And we'll see you next time. Thanks, Ruth.
Bye.
Bye.